Hi everyone, I'm Adam from Trade with Precision and welcome to Vantage Markets Inside the Charts. So let's have a very quick glance at the calendar coming up and just make sure it is for this coming week. I would just draw your attention to the unemployment and non-farm payrolls, potentially as well as the inflation rate. These are very likely to be highly volatile moments, and so just be prepared, especially if you are a day trader. Let's have a quick look at the dollar index. So it is stuck in a range. It's still in the same range. What I want to point out to you is if we go down to the daily here, you'll see that it's right in the middle of the range. Now, this is what happens. In the middle of the range, it could reverse, decide to come back out and ultimately break out the range, or it could decide to continue through to the top of the range. So please understand it is literally sitting right in the middle and has to decide which way to go. When we have a look at euro dollar, it produced a very nice bullish candle. It's the second one actually in the last few candles here off the moving averages. It's kind of sitting at the top, not kind of, it is at the top of its range. And I really want to see, I think euro dollar is very intent here on breaking and attempting to head away from the range, which hints at a possible weaker dollar. So we could see the market play out this way. Similar with GBP USD as well. We've got a nice strong bullish candle. Aussie dollar as well, very strong, nice bullish candle here. If we break that high, we could very well see these markets head up, which would hint at a weaker dollar. Kiwi dollar as well. So these bullish candles are just showing us signs of the buyers coming in, and they really do want to continue the trends in the same direction. Very quickly having a look at dollar yen. So dollar yen is not offering a lot of clarity. There is no clear trend at the moment on the daily. On the weekly, what's actually happened is it's had a bit of a correction and it wants to continue up. Don't be surprised if you ultimately see the yen pairs also continuing to the upside. Then dollar Swissy, I really like the look of this here. We've got a small bearish inside candle. It's the second one as well. If we do get a break of this level, I would expect dollar Swissy to continue to head lower. So a lot of these charts have set up a second signal here. If the market follows through, we would see that dollar starting to weaken. That's what they're really hinting at. In these types of situations from experience, this is at least sort of 60-40. I'm leaning towards that dollar weakening only because we've now got our second signal. Whereas if we just had a single one, I wouldn't be surprised if the dollar, whichever way it goes. Whereas this time I can see that there have been multiple attempts for people to sell the dollar, and we'll see if they ultimately win that round. Let's have a quick look at the global indices. So first of all, the Dow had a really strong breakout. I'm a little bit cautious here. It's been very much sideways, and the S&P and NASDAQ are very noisy. My concern here is that this could be a failed breakout. In principle, the markets are still bullish, but the US markets specifically are quite volatile. So that is really my concern. If we do ultimately come back down below this range within the next two candles, then we are likely to see the markets continue to head lower after that. That's why I'm exercising caution. If we move away and have a look at the S&P, yes, we do have a strong bullish candle, but we're still stuck in a range, and there is no clear direction at this time. And then, of course, if we have a look at the NASDAQ, it's definitely got no clear range. Fresh highs, fresh lows, it's all over the place. Bullish engulfing bar, it's incredibly choppy. What I do like, though, is the mini Russell, the Russell 2000, I beg your pardon, the Russell 2000 here, especially from a weekly perspective. It has a very nice overall trend. It's pulled back into the moving averages, previous highs, and a nice bullish candle. If we break the high here, there's some soft resistance, but I do expect it to continue up. So again, that's very nice and bullish. If we have a look at the FTSE continues to move higher. The daily itself has actually produced a potential setup here. I would prefer smaller candles myself, but this is a possible buy opportunity here for some swing traders. But nevertheless, it is a sign of bullishness. I quite like the look of that. And my expectation is that if the market breaks the high, we will continue to see the markets move higher. The DAX, very interesting, very choppy, multiple buy signals here, meaning there's a nice little setup over here that's come in. And then there's another one over here, and then there's another one over here. So this really is trying to stay above this line and ultimately push higher, but there is some resistance over there. Nevertheless, again, I expect this market to attempt to break higher, and ideally it'll do it this week. The Nikkei, look at that incredibly strong breakout. I think this is very much likely to stay. It's more the Dow that I'm concerned about a false breakout. This one I think will potentially follow through. Then having a look at gold. Gold has produced a potential higher low here. It's trying to get back into an uptrend. It's a very nice bullish candle. from a weekly perspective, it's got a beautiful bullish candle here. The overall quality of this trend looks good. The momentum is good. And so I do think the gold is wanting to actually go back. It's let off some of that buying pressure, and I think it really wants to resume that uptrend. We'll see if it can follow through. That's a big part of it. It really has to follow through here. The same with silver. Silver's not looking as bullish, but it did let off a lot of that buying pressure. So it is really sitting in a place now where it wants to decide if it is indeed going to follow through. Of the two, gold is looking stronger and more bullish. And then just finally having a look here at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most bearish of the lot. It is now almost certainly has broken its monthly uptrend, which means it now is certainly not bullish anymore. We are now have to decide what is happening. Could be coming down to that 50. We'll see if it finds support at the old highs, but it is definitely not in a bull run at this time. And so we might get a bit of a move up, but we are not in an uptrend anymore. And so exercising some caution here, certainly from a perspective of buying opportunities, exercising huge risk management. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great week.